Alright guys, today we got a lot of new stuff to talk about. I'm trying to keep a little bit quiet so I don't scare one of them away. I have a new walk-in in the Lock Lab. This is a cat that I've actually been feeding him for about 5 years, and in the last week or so, he started following me around and actually lets me pet him without scratching my hands up too much anymore. Anyway, he's fully armed, fully equipped. Anyway, this is a lock from Dennis Broussard. I think you guys have seen this before. Dennis lives up in Canada. Awesome bitting, and the weird thing is, even with extreme bitting like this, I mean, that key, it takes like no effort. Just slides right in there, telling me that the springs in this are not too crazy. And more importantly, it works flawlessly. Just beautiful. Take a look at this key though, particularly those two very deep cuts. They're well below standard, which makes this a super bitting for a challenge lock. We got some very high cuts here and then back there that are hiding behind those extreme low cuts. So I'm probably gonna have to start out with, let me grab this, a hook like this. This is from the SS Dev, and if I can pick from the bottom of the keyway, you can see I can almost reach that last one without bumping into him. So that might work were it not for the paracentric nature of this Schlage keyway. If I try to take this 15,000th and I try to slide him in there, I'm just going to position him. You'll notice right away, I mean, he's obviously pinched inside of that keyway. So a lot of the feel that I'm going to need, because I'm sure there's some alien tech in here from Canada, I'm going to be robbed of that if I try to use a 15,000. So I'm going to go to my backup pick, and that would be one of these guys from Rare Elements. Probably not him. I'm going to take the deepest hook, and I can't remember what Rare Elements calls this one, but even him at 13,000th, he still gets wedged in there just a little bit, just enough. So now I'm going to pull out the secret weapon. If you guys are going to pull little tricks like this, I'm going to have to pull out a secret weapon. This is a 10,000th pick. It fits in there perfectly. I can pick from the bottom. It does not drag on that piece of warding right there. So 10,000th is the magic thickness for this one. The problem with this 10,000th is it's almost like picking with a piece of tin foil. Very, very fragile. If you look closely, I've actually bent this thing before and had to bend it back. So I've got to be very careful. But luckily, there's no crazy springs in this, or at least it doesn't feel that way when I put the key in there. So let me go ahead and clamp it up, and let's see if this magic 10,000th will manage to get us into this piece of Canadian alien technology. All right, guys, attempt number 4. Definitely a lot of threads in this thing. Takes a very light tension, and with a light tension, that means it's easy to overset some stuff, which I've consistently done. So let's try it one more time. Actually, we'll give it another few shots, but all right, that is pin 3, and I get a false set. That is not the first time that has happened. And that's pin 1. I'm getting counter rotation on him. And that is light tension. But I didn't lose it, so 3 is still up. Let's get back on 1. There's counter rotation again. Come on. Wow. All right, do a false set. I think I've got 1 and 3. I'll just try not to overset anything. Try not to break my pick. Okay, that was pin 6. Got a little click on him. That is 4. Had a little click on him. Oh. I think I might have overset 2 there. Got it back. All right. All right, I just touched 4. I mean, you saw barely touched him, and it turned a little bit more. Now we're either on a spool, as deep as that false set is, or a T-pin. So I'm kind of looking. I didn't get any counter rotation on anybody. Oh, maybe I did. There it is. Pin 4, very slight counter rotation. Come on. Come on. Don't break the pick, Bill. I'm going to have to unwind this a little bit to get him set. Very sharp edge on that one. Lost the false set. I got a little bit of a false set, but not as much as we had before. And again, I'm looking for some counter rotation. There it is on pin number 6. Something just dropped. Come on, get in there. Okay, I think that was 6. And there we go. All right, it took me 4 attempts. So 33 minutes and 17 seconds to get into this thing for the first time. So pretty awesome for a 6-pin Schlage, I've got to say. Let's go ahead and gut him and see what kind of alien tech we do have inside of this thing. Zoom that out. Get the board. My cat ran off. I was trying to keep quiet to keep him in the house, and it didn't work out. When I clapped my hands to coordinate the video with the sound file, he took off running like he was on fire. So hopefully he'll be back. He'll get the urge to scratch me some more. A lot of you guys ask why I don't... Oh, he just walked in. A lot of you guys don't... have asked the question why I don't take the actuator off before I pick it and save a little bit of time. The reason for that is a lot of times when I tension it, I get excited. And when I pull the tensioner out, if I've picked it, the whole core will pop out and everything kind of falls out. I can get a little clumsy on guttings. You guys have seen that. And I'm just trying to avoid it. So just take a couple extra seconds to pull the actuators off. You guys can always hit the fast forward button. All right, make sure we're lined up, and let's see what we have here. All right, interesting stuff in chamber 1, 3, and 6. Very narrow pins. Those are probably the T-pins we were looking at. A lot of flopping going on in chamber number 1. Oh, hope these don't fall out when I pull that out. Extreme bitting can do this. Come on out of there. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, pin 1 is a very sharp T-pin with a little ball on the end of it. Kind of cool. So I would expect we're going to see some undercutting. This is a homemade spool with a serration on the top. Really cool. Chamber 1, 2, and 3 are all threaded. I can see that now. Chamber 3, it is a T-pin with a little serrated element on the top of it. These are all really nice looking pins, I gotta say. Nicely polished, no edges, nothing rustic. That guy did not want to come out of there. Let me turn him around, get him right. And chamber 6. Another T-pin. And as we thought, every single one of those is threaded. Nice sharp threads, very nice. All right, let's check upstairs. That's only half of the battle. Okay, get that up here. A homemade, and that's perfect to grab onto. A homemade spool made out of a key pin. Same thing for number 2. Very nice. Come on, focus for me. Real cool looking pin. Let me pull these, let me slide that back and pull out the springs. I don't think we're going to see anything special on the springs because it seemed pretty much equal for all of them. Very weak, very light touch. All right, number 3. Another one of the same kind of pins. Perfect grabbing point. It is a huge, deep spool, very narrow waist, and then we got a little serration at the top of it. And Same spring. Uh-oh. Yeah, something a little different. It is a spool with a narrow-waisted T-pin, but notice a little ball enlarged tip to grab a hold of those serrations, no doubt. Same spring. All right, there's my convenient handle. Very nice. Number 6. Same spring. And the last one, chamber 5. He's a T-pin, just like that other one. Well, almost. Let me slide this down so you can get a little look here. There was a serration near the pointy end, and then a reverse serration, and then a spool, and then a large tip on that T-pin. So really cool. A lot of tricky elements built into that guy. And same spring. So all the springs are identical. In terms of the chambers, let's take a look. I'm having a little trouble figuring out. I don't think there are some striations around the chamber, but I do not believe those are threads. They're not as sharp as the threads. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can't see them on, but on number 6 and 5, you can see some striations around the circumference of the chamber, but I don't think they are threads. I think that's just normal. And there are no threads in the top here. I mean, no Allen screws. So I don't think they were thread. This looks all original. I don't think he took that out of there. The only trickiness was in the pins and then in the 6 threaded chambers of that core. Let me show you these pins. These are really nice. Let me take that off so it's not too heavy on that side. Very nice looking pins. A lot of care went into this. A lot of sharp edges. Every single one of these has serrations on the tip followed by a very deep spool to trap you at the shear line. So really nasty. No wonder we were getting a lot of counter rotation, especially on this guy. We had 2 opportunities for deep fault sets and then 2 additional opportunities to get caught up on serrations in those threads. You saw the crazy bitting on that key. So we got some really high cut ones here hiding behind these 2 deep cut ones. Really nasty looking stuff. There's a very deep cut one there as well. Really nice looking pins. You can see you put a lot of effort into these, a lot of thought, and these are not just straight up T-pins. Every single one of them has an enlarged tip with serrations on it to get caught up in those threads. So I am surprised it only took me 33 minutes. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay legal. Dennis, excellent work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Stay safe, guys. Stay legal.